Hello everyone and welcome back to the Vector Dream Gaming channel. I wanted to do a quick video on XCOM the board game, and I know there's a ton of videos already out there, how to play, full entire playthroughs and all that stuff. You know, I really wanted to do something for this game, so in this video I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to show you how I set the game up for solitaire play, and then run you through that first timed phase and see if I can keep up with the timer with this setup that I have. And I've learned if you play this game solitaire, the more you prepare beforehand, the better off you are when that timer is running. So briefly about the game, there are 4 different jobs that players are going to get, and here they are. You got squad leader, chief scientist, central officer, and commander. Now you can pretty much put these back in the box because you're going to have to run all 4 of these jobs during a solitaire game. You can basically just pretend that, you know, you're the main commander of everything, and all those jobs still exist, but you're sort of telling them what needs to get done and making decisions on those things. I'll mention one more thing before I show you anything. Of course, everybody knows about Watch It Played's videos on XCOM, and that's a really great resource if you want to dig down and learn all the rules in a whole entire video. I highly recommend it, and I'll link his videos into my description of this video for you. In this video, I'm not going to go through all the rules and stuff like that. I'm just going to show you how I set it up for solo, talk a little bit about the game, and then run you through that timed phase. So let's get going here, and let me show you down here. Okay, so what I'm doing is I went to Fantasy Flight Games website. You can download the XCOM the board game app for your computer. So I'm running it on my computer, and what I'm going to do is, as I do the timed phase, I'm going to edit the timed phase down into the lower right hand corner of this video. You can certainly run this on your iPad, your phone, or whatever else, but I'm going to do it this way. I have a wireless keyboard set up, and this is actually how I play when I play solitaire. I don't use my phone or my iPad. I certainly could, but I'm going to go ahead and take this keyboard away for a second. Now, these are the reserve cards for some of those positions that I talked about earlier, and you don't necessarily need these cards. I think they're nice to look at, though, on this left-hand side. So I keep them out, and it's just an easier way for me to throw these things on here and whatever. I mean, I could certainly save some space if I got rid of those. In this top row, these are all the cards that would apply to the timed phase. And I'll show you this one right here. This is the Satellite Nexus card. And as you can see, it's got a timed phase little icon there. It even says it right there. And it allows you to place a UFO here, which would, during the timed phase, move one UFO on the board to orbit or to a continent that has not fallen into panic. It's just a way for you to shift UFOs around if you get overwhelmed in a certain continent or something like that. This is an example of a card for the resolution phase. It's got a different icon here. Resolution phase. Exhaust this, re-roll the alien die. So basically this would come up during the resolution phase. So you have to kind of separate the cards like that, otherwise you're going to be getting confused looking for, oh man, did I use that ability? Did I use that ability? This just keeps it more organized, and you can go bam, bam, bam. Okay, I've used that. Now I can use this kind of thing. What I've done here is I have that set up. I have all the soldiers ready to go. I have the panic cards all shuffled over here. I got, if you look up here, I got the mission cards out there ready to go, all shuffled. Here is the tech cards, and you'll see 2 stacks there. One is the main draw deck, and I've already pre-drawn 6 cards. When it comes up during the time phase, it'll say, okay, new tech available for the chief scientist. And you're allowed to draw 6 cards, and then, you know, you put those aside. And the chief scientist, if you had a multiplayer game going, would have time to look at those cards and sort of, you know, decide on what he wants to do. But in a solitaire game, you really don't have that luxury. But I've pre-drawn these 6 cards, and I haven't looked at them. I'm just gonna see how it goes without doing that. And it just saves me that seconds of time having to draw those. That was a big one, I thought. Also, if you look out in the center here, I put my credits in the center that are not part of my existing credits. So emergency funding has its own, and I put them in stacks of 5 credits so that it would be easy to just grab. Like, okay, the game's telling you can get 10 credits. So bam, I already got it. I don't have to count them out. That's another time saver. So let's go ahead and finalize the setup. Then I'll run through that timed phase real quick, and then we'll see how it goes. Hopefully you guys like the video. So I got the app up and ready to go. I got my keyboard over here. I'm going to hit play. I'm going to pick one player, of course. I'm going to pick easy. I know. But, you know, I'm filming this. It's going to be a little easier for me for that purpose. But once you get good with this setup, if you like it, you could certainly move on up to normal and see how that goes. Alright, so occupation is the mission that came up first. Now I could certainly just use the arrows here and pick whatever mission I want, but I'll just go with it. In fact, this one shouldn't be out. Alright, here is occupation. Increase panic in each continent by 1. This little target refers to this track down here. Every time this little marker moves up when we get attacked and can't defend properly, then if it hits this target, we're going to have to do what it says on this mission card. And basically, this mission card would not get flipped over until the app tells you to. So you have to complete a number of missions and do different things in the game to be able to get the final mission to happen. And you would turn this over and then start working on completing that final mission. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the board. Alright, next part of setup. Hit next. Okay, so I need to grab these 3 enemies, and I have all my cards already sorted. I'm going to grab my floaters. Got all those cards, and then the last one, the chrysalid, I believe it's called. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these up real quick. Alright, I got these shuffled up. I haven't looked at it. I just did a quick shuffle, and now I am going to put it right here so that when that comes up I can draw one. Okay, so let's go next. And our HQ location is going to be North America. I'm going to take this little token here and I'm going to put it on North America. It also says to grab the air and space, officer training, and emergency funding cards. I've already done that prior to even starting the video. Officer training is here. Air and space actually is one that I need to grab. It's sitting over here in the box. So I got air and space. It says Exhaustus, build 1 interceptor, use the ability only if North America's panic level is yellow. Alright, so I'm going to put that, it's a timed ability, so I'm going to put it in that top row down there. And now I'm going to go ahead and hit next, and I think that's probably the end of setup. Oh, actually we got to do the continent starting panic levels. Let's go ahead and do that. So Africa goes here. Okay, now that they're all placed, and now this order doesn't matter as long as they're all on that spot. They're in order, but you know, I just thought I would mention that. Alright, let's hit start. So we're ready to begin round 1. Let's see if I can keep up with the timer with this setup as we have it. I'm just going to go ahead and let you take another quick look. Alright. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and begin round 1. We're deploying, and new technology available. I've already drawn those cards. And I'm going to hit enter on my keyboard. Oh. Alright, XCOM budget is 11. I'm going to grab 5, 10, and 1. Enemy in the base. I'm going to go ahead and spawn 1 enemy. It's a chrysalid. UFOs detected. 2 in Australia down here. Okay. Crisis. Okay, I'm going to draw 2 cards. I'm going to pick this one. Destroy 2 interceptors instead of increased panic in Europe. I don't want that. Alright, choose a mission. I'm gonna grab 2 missions and I'm gonna go with this one. And you discard this one. I'm gonna assign research to 3. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go with this one. And I'm gonna put 2 scientists on it. Enemy in the base. I'm gonna draw another enemy card. It's a thin man. UFOs detected. 1 in South America, 1 in Europe. I'm gonna deploy Squad 2 mission. Oh, in fact, I needed to draw 2 alien cards for the spots on this, but you know, that's okay. I'm gonna put a sniper. I'm gonna put support. You can sign up to 4. I'm gonna go ahead and put a heavy on there as well. I'm going to assign research to spot number 1. I'm going to go ahead and go with this one. And I'm going to put a scientist on that. Let's just go with 1. Emergency funding. I'm going to go ahead and take 4, just in case I mess up. I know that... I'll talk about that in a second. Deploy interceptors. Okay, I have 6 to deploy. I think I'm going to put 2 out here. I'm going to put 1 here and 1 here. UFOs detected. Oh my gosh, another one in Europe. This is bad news, man. Assign research to number 2. Okay. I'm just looking at my cards, sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to do this one, and I'm only going to do 1 scientist on it. Alright, deploy satellites. So that means I can put some satellites here. I think since there's none in orbit right now, I'm just going to put 1. Defend the base. Okay, I need to assign some soldiers to the base. We have Thin Man. I'm going to go with this Heavy, since he matches up well. And I think I'm going to have to go with this support class. And maybe one of these guys. Assault. And that's the end of the time phase. As you can see, I was able to keep up. Now I'm standing up and doing this. So when you play, you might have to stand up and do this. But that's pretty much the end of the time phase. Now, of course, I didn't have time to look at any of this stuff, and I didn't really have time to count my money here and make sure that I wasn't going too crazy. But the very next step is going to be resolution, where you're going to have to do your budget. And I'm actually curious to see how I did there, and I might go ahead and do that before I cut the video. But I could go through these timed abilities and look at what I have here. So with this time phase, as you see on the screen, it says ending time phase. In an easy game, you have unlimited time to ensure that you've used all your timed abilities. And I think the higher difficulties, you won't have that luxury. But I'm going to go ahead and take a moment here to just look over my cards real quick and make sure I did what I wanted. Okay, I took a look at these cards, and now I'm going to kind of show you them real quick. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and place a UFO on this. Place 1 UFO here, place a satellite here. Move 1 UFO on the board to orbit. So I'm going to go ahead and place a satellite here. Alright, so what I've done here is I've placed a satellite on this card, and I moved a UFO from Europe to orbit at the cost of 1 satellite here. I do have 1 out here to help me defend this, and then that helps this interceptor maybe have a little bit better of a chance of surviving that scenario out there. So that's that. Here, let me show you this card. Alright, mission control. This says, place a satellite here, move one unit from its reserve to the board, or from the board to its reserve. So this would be a way to correct maybe some mistakes you made by putting too many units to something and spending too much money. A chance to sort of like, if you're keeping track of your credits down here, like I should have been doing, but it was hard because, you know, you're trying to work against that clock. So I could certainly do that right now, make sure I didn't overspend during this, and then play this. But I think I'm going to be okay with that. In fact, this should be down here a little bit so you guys can see what's going on. Alright, so the research, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to exhaust. I've already played what I wanted, and I think I'm okay with this for now. Sky Ranger, I could place 2 soldiers here to get rid of a crisis card. I only have 1, so I'm not going to do that. Let's see, officer training says I could place a soldier from its reserve here. That soldier becomes elite. I might actually do that. I have a sniper here. Maybe I'll go ahead and place it there. Okay, officer training. Air and space, exhaust this, build 1 interceptor, use this ability only if... So I might go ahead and do that. I'm going to exhaust this and build an interceptor. Oops, take it from here and put it there. So now I have 3. So it looks like I've used all my timed abilities. I'm good with all that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit done. And we're going to proceed with the resolution phase. Now we're going to audit the budget. Count the number of satellites, soldiers, scientists, and interceptors that are assigned to the board. For each assigned unit, the commander spends 1 credit from the XCOM budget. So let's see how I did. Alright, so we have... I'm just going to go around the board. So I have 1 here, so that's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 scientists, so that's 4 there. 3 soldiers for that mission out there. I have 3 soldiers to defend the base. And let's see, I have 4 left. Let me make sure there's nothing else. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't do the interceptors. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, I exactly had enough money and without going negative. So, whoo. Unfortunately, that's not always the best case scenario because I wouldn't have mind being able to buy some soldiers in the resolution phase here, but that's okay. I think I'm going to cut the video there. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you found it helpful. I really just wanted to show you how to set this up for solitaire play and run you through that first timed phase to show that, you know, it is viable to play this solo. You can keep up with the timer. I even had time to spare. I could have spent more time like making sure I wasn't spending too much credits and things like that. But I'm filming and it's, you know, I'm trying to do this with that going on. So it's a little bit different. But without all the filming and you're focused on the game and just trying to keep up with the timer, you can do it. I think it's more than possible. In fact, I'm thinking about moving up to normal or whatever and seeing if I can take it on at that level. So it's a great game. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want, and I'll see you next time.